Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Well, today we're talking about black men's replacement in television journalism. This young man's name is DeMarco Morgan, and he will be T.J. Holmes' replacement on Good Morning America 3 until a final decision has been made about T.J. Holmes. I think it's safe to say that this man needs to do as good a job as he possibly can in this position because T.J. Holmes probably won't be coming back. It should not be lost to us that this is a very attractive, young African-American man who bears a convincing resemblance to T.J. Holmes. So it cannot be said that this is racism and they just wanted to hire a white man in TJ's place, when in fact that's what they could do since white men built ABC, NBC, and CBS, and they can hire anybody they want to. But to give the appearance of fairness, they hired this man, DeMarco Morgan. And the first thing that I saw when they showed that they were going to be replacing TJ with this man, for the time being at least, is that somebody said, well, he's going to be another problem because this is another handsome young black man. But it is also reported that this man is in the LGBTQ community. So that kind of settles it as far as somebody deciding that they want to have an affair with him, because even if he is in that community, the person that would choose him or that he would choose would be somebody who understood the rules. And this is what black men have been complaining about, that it is this type of black man that they want in television journalism. And I also mentioned this in another video because that's what black men say. If you want to be in television journalism, you need to be in the LGBTQ community. And T.J. Holmes has shown us why. Because when you lose control over yourself and you decide, I'm going to fall in love with somebody that's inappropriate based on what most Americans see, and you just follow your bliss and do that, then you upset the whole thing, and then both of you end up getting suspended and possibly fired. Now, for those people who are going to come on here talking about, oh, they were two consenting adults and they were grown and they could do what they want to, I totally agree with you. They are two consenting adults. T.J. Holmes and Amy Robach are two consenting adults. If they decide that they're going to do whatever they want to do, regardless to how it makes their spouses or their children or the public or their family and friends feel, how everybody that they're involved with feels, including their co-workers, and they're going to go headlong into their romance, they should. But what they need to understand is that people don't want to see them in their living room. Once they sever their ties so the public won't have to be exposed to them in any way, I think they should go off and build their own career. Somebody says, well, they could write a book about it. Well, they could write a book about it. And somebody would have to publish that book. And anybody who wanted to read it could do that. But for now, they are tarnishing the ABC Good Morning brand. And so therefore, they would have to be dealt with on that basis. You're tarnishing the brand. Now let's take a look at this picture. This is a black man grabbing the buttocks of a white woman. Let's rewind this back to 1860, 1845. What would happen if that happened in 1845? All I want to say is that mentality is still present today. People may not deal with it in the same way they would have dealt with it in 1845 or 1860. But the old South spirit is still alive. Let us remember that they are still reenacting the Civil War. This spirit is still alive. Anybody who doesn't believe that is somebody who's living in denial, or you just don't know. You just don't know what's going on. That spirit is still alive. This is a very offensive image to the average white man. This conjures up all kinds of feelings of anger. To be fair, I think these two thought they were in a private setting, and they were in a private setting, but I don't think they realized they were being spied on. But be that as it may, this does not matter to a person, male or female, black or white, who does not condone interracial relationships, especially between people that are married. The fact that they didn't realize that they were being spied on doesn't matter. What matters is that many people, and I'm going to say white men primarily, do not approve of this picture or this relationship. And I'm going to throw black women in that number. I think there are a lot of black women out there who are saying, what does he think he's doing? He's a married man. And let us be clear. The person that took this picture knew what they were doing. They knew that this image was going to conjure up a lot of strong emotions from a large segment of the American society. This picture is really an affront to anybody that takes marriage seriously. And we also have to look at what's happening in the American population. It is no secret that white Americans are at a 0% birth rate in the United States and worldwide. White people are trying to preserve their identity just like everybody else. This is why so many of their politicians are against abortion rights, same-sex marriage, and interracial marriage. And a picture like this does not help the situation at all. So people can scream, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair, all they want to. What seems fair to one person might not seem fair to another. And this is what's going to make a decision. And I don't know the ins and outs of how people make decisions in boardrooms. But I would guess, if I were going to put money on it, if there was even a question about whether or not TJ Holmes would survive at ABC, when you put this picture with all the other stuff that's coming out, I think that would seal the deal for him. Now, if they still are in love, if they're so in love that they just don't care what anybody thinks, I think that they're going to have to put that to the test. I think that's going to be put to the test. Because this is an image that conjures up all kinds of animosity within white America. Let's not even play games about that. Okay? So this is what he decided to do, being a married man. This is what he decided to get himself involved with. And this is what he's going to have to deal with, the fallout, not only of what's being said, but what people can see in this picture. If I were going to advise TJ Holmes, my advice to him would be, if these allegations that have been brought against you are true, get yourself before the biggest audience that you can. Apologize to your wife and child. Apologize to the people at ABC that gave you a chance to make a living there. And apologize to your co-workers and the American audience that gave you a chance. And by all means, apologize to Amy Robach's husband that you sat there in front of the American people with him and his wife and called him one of the best people you knew and a friend. And you were sleeping with this man's wife. You owe everybody an apology. And then you need to go back and figure out how you're going to start over. Now that would be my advice to him. Having said all of that, I think that black American men are in a very good position right now as to what they're going to do moving forward. Number one, black American men can accept that when they go into an establishment, they have to live by the establishment rules. If you're not going to follow the establishment rules, you have to be prepared to face the consequences. Now, that's one thing. The second thing is, this is a very good opportunity now for black American men to realize they have to go out and build an infrastructure for themselves. When you go out and build your own infrastructure, you can date and marry anybody you want to. And nobody can call you in and say, well, we're suspending you until we decide what to do about you. You go out there and build your own system, build your own infrastructure, build your own television network, build your own social media platform. And then you can handle it, you can manage it like you want to. You can become Elon Musk and buy something and have no idea what you're doing and go in and ruin something that was basically working, but it's still your thing. And you have the power to ruin it or make it better. you have the authority to do it because it's your platform and you worked for it and you bought it. And so you can go in and run it in the round if you want to, which is what he's doing with Twitter as far as I am concerned. But back to the topic at hand. This is the young man that's replacing TJ Holmes. And I think black American men really need to bond with the idea that this is going to be your replacement. When you come into a situation, rules are established. Whether the rule, somebody shouldn't have to spell out everything to you and put everything in writing for you to know what is considered decent and what is not by the majority. Because there are always going to be people that's going to feel like everybody should do whatever they want to. But you live in a civilized society. There has to be some rules. And so if you don't want to live by the rules, then you live with consequences. That's the way I see it. But this is what's going to be replacing black men in television journalism. Now, they've already started this. That's the complaint. That's been the complaint from black men for at least the last 10 or 15 years. The ones who come on to the show, if you're in the LGBTQ community, or if you're already in an interracial relationship, you'll probably be fine if you can get the job. But if you are a straight black man and you're married to a black woman and you come on the show and a non-black woman decides, oh, he's cute, I think I'll fall in love with him, and you engage in an inappropriate relationship with that person, just understand that you're probably going to be fired. And you're going to be replaced with somebody like DeMarco Morgan. I wish him the best. He went to Jackson State. He's highly qualified. He went to Jackson State. He received his BS degree from Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi. Shout out to Deion Sanders. He received his master's degree from Columbia School of Journalism, which is really that's the gold standard for journalism. Columbia School of Journalism is the gold standard. He has a long work life. He has an impressive resume, and he seems ready to do the job. And I wish him the best, because as an African American woman, I am very pro-black family. We cannot survive as an ethnic group if we don't have strong family structures. And you cannot have a strong family structure with a man just because he's handsome, has a little charisma, and just enough, whatever you call it, personality to go out and get a good job, that he loses respect for family values. He's already been married and walked away from one family, and now he's got another family with a 9 or 10-year-old child that still needs raising, but he's decided that he can go off and fall in love with some other woman who's also been married 2 or 3 times before herself. This is just insane. It's insane. And I think that whatever ABC does as far as discipline is fair. I believe this young man will do a good job, and I think he understands what the rules are, and I believe he can work within the confines of that rule, because that's what America needs from black men. You need to work within the confines of the rules that have been established. If you want to create your own dynasty, then that's what you can do. And you can do whatever you want to within your dynasty. But when you're working within the establishment, and ABC is the establishment, then you have to follow establishment rules. And if you don't want to follow those rules, you need to be prepared for establishment consequences. And that's all I have to say about that. I wish this young man the best, and I will check him out to see what he's doing. Okay, let me know what you think about the video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.